Hello there, and welcome to Gina Gardiner and Friends. I'm absolutely thrilled to be able to introduce Marc Jarrett to you. He's an award-winning, disruptive, game-changing virtual power networker. I've known Marc for a while, and he has the most amazing way of networking. And so today we're going to be talking about 2 billion reasons to use WhatsApp to network virtually. So Marc, a huge welcome. Thank you for joining me on the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's a real pleasure. Now, many people are not aware of WhatsApp or its power. Do you want to talk to us about how you became such a proponent of virtual networking through WhatsApp?
So I spent the bulk of my career in telecoms. I was first to market with logos and ringtones in the UK back in the day when every other person had a Nokia phone.
Yep.
And then about 10 years ago, I launched the world's first celebrity chat line where people could call and speak to celebrities to raise money for good causes. That was the idea anyway, but unfortunately the celebrities kept all the money.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, but at least I tried.
You did indeed. So tell us about WhatsApp and what's so powerful about WhatsApp.
The clue is in the name. 2 billion people use it. It's about a quarter of the world's population. It's the world's most popular messaging platform. It's owned by Meta, formerly known as Facebook. The one country, ironically, that doesn't use WhatsApp so much is its birthplace, the United States of America.
I'm going to say many of our audience are based in America, and if they're not familiar with WhatsApp, can you perhaps explain to them why it's such a good idea for them to be on WhatsApp? After all, it doesn't cost anything, does it?
It's free and it's ad-free. And a lot of Americans still use boring old text messages, SMS. With WhatsApp, you can send voice files, you can send images, videos, up to 2 gigabytes now of data transfer, making it much easier to collaborate on projects. And the virtual networking takes place in WhatsApp groups.
Right.
And I operate 240 of them. Each WhatsApp group has got its own theme. Okay. So that might be biotech, construction, automotive, fashion, music. I've got several WhatsApp groups aimed at doing business in specific markets like Spain or France or Europe's richest and largest market, Germany. Luck of the Irish is the Irish group. I've got WhatsApp groups for pretty much everything. And if I don't, I'll just go ahead and create one.
Now, I know that you have a number of leadership groups because I belong, and also one for speakers and so on. But I also use WhatsApp. So we've got a family group. So if you want to tell people in the family about something or organize a date to get together, everybody's in the same group and you only have to type it in once, or you only have to send the photograph or the video once. And I find it's, at a personal level and at a professional level, it's so efficient.
Yes. Those Americans that do use WhatsApp, typically they use it when they or their friends and family are traveling overseas for the free calls and the free video calls. To me, that's a bonus.
Yes.
The networking takes place in WhatsApp groups. And you're right. I think most families use WhatsApp as an efficient way to expedite communications with the family members.
Well, certainly in the UK, and I've got friendship groups where, you're trying to organize something, then again, we use them. But I know your particular focus is about how businesses can use WhatsApp. So what are the benefits for a business of being on WhatsApp?
Well, at the end of the day, it's about generating new contacts and doing business more effectively with the existing clients. So it's about serving existing clients better and winning more clients.
I mean, ultimately, everybody's in business to create a profitable outcome. One of the things that strikes me about using WhatsApp, and particularly in the networking, we were talking about this just before we started recording this, was how it can save huge amounts of time and money, and also save the environment by using it to meet virtually.
It can even save lives. I'm going to read you out a message that I got from someone in the WhatsApp groups. Let me just find it.
Mark, you said that using this way to communicate can actually save lives. That seems very dramatic.
Okay, let me read out to you the message that I received. This was a couple of years ago. On a personal note, I would like to thank you for starting these groups. My life was saved a few weeks ago, and if it was not for the family I met through you, God knows what would have happened to me. I collapsed and they found my heart had enlarged because of high blood pressure and that I needed to get a valve replacement. But through God's mercy and grace, people's mobiles gave me the hospital treatment I required. In other words, she found a family. I'm not sure of the details, but yeah, I mean, that's very rewarding to receive a message like that. But primarily, I created this ecosystem of amazing thought leaders and entrepreneurs throughout the world to create an environment where they feel safe to engage with one another, and then the business comes later. So I'm all about relationship building, because at the end of the day, business boils down to two things, and that's people and trust.
I think that's very true. And I think often you see on LinkedIn or Facebook that people go straight for the jugular, and you've only just made contact with them, perhaps through a LinkedIn contact, and they immediately try to sell you something.
That's why I'm a little bit anti multi-level marketing, MLM, because it tends to be transactional from the get-go. Yeah.
Sorry, well, one of the things I've noticed in the groups of yours that I belong to is that people do take the time to actually start to get to know one another as people. What are the things that matter to them? What are the things that, what's their mission? What's their why? And that comes through very strongly. And I think that really helps build trust.
Yes. And what I do is when people join a WhatsApp group, I get them to say who they are, where they live, what they do, who they want to meet is the crucial one. A fun fact to show their human side, and their LinkedIn URL. I sometimes describe LinkedIn as the world's least social network, because the UX, the user experience on LinkedIn, can be a bit slow and clunky. But it's an invaluable resource because you can see where they went to school, where they've worked, who you know in common, who's recommended them. It's a fantastic resource.
So you're really talking about using WhatsApp in conjunction with LinkedIn, as I understand it.
Yes, And I've never claimed that WhatsApp networking in WhatsApp groups is the panacea for networking. I see it as a conduit between LinkedIn and places like Zoom, Remo, or of course in person. Because the whole point of networking is to arrive at a meaningful one-to-one situation like we're having now, Gina.
You know, I think one of the things that many people assumed started with the pandemic is virtual networking, but I know it's something that you had started long before we were in lockdown.
Yes, if you go to my LinkedIn profile and look at my articles, you'll see that I wrote an article in 2018 called The Wonderful World of Virtual Networking. Back then, no one really took me that seriously. But when the pandemic came along, it became the only way to network. But irrespective of COVID, it's fantastic because it saves so much time, money, and carbon.
You know, it's interesting, isn't it, that through this, I've met people all over the world, people that perhaps I may have met through LinkedIn, but actually not got to know. And it's been really helpful. And I think, you know, if you're in business, if you're an entrepreneur and you're listening to this, then I would really urge you to explore the power of networks and particularly have a look for Marc. So Marc, how do people find the different groups that you've got available? You know, what would they do? Let's say you talked about fashion or in the automobile industry. How would they find your groups on WhatsApp?
With great difficulty.
Okay.
WhatsApp groups belong to something called dark social. I don't like the term. It's got negative, sinister sound to it, but it's actually the precise opposite. All it means is that WhatsApp groups are private. They're hidden from public view. So searching for them on Google or whatnot is an exercise in futility. You have to be invited to them.
So if people are listening to this, and
yes.
The idea of this program is to give people information that can help them, what should they do?
They should go to my LinkedIn profile. They should point their smartphone towards the QR code. They should go to the menu of my digital business card. And the third one down is ping me on WhatsApp.
Okay.
That way they can just ping me a message on WhatsApp and say, hi, I listened to your interview with Gina. I'd love to connect. And then we're in dialogue.
So if they're going to look on LinkedIn, can you spell your name for them? Because ultimately they could get that wrong, particularly the Marc bit.
So it's M-A-R-C, Marc, and then J-A-R-R-E-T-T. And then it comes up with Networker of the Year on my headline.
Yeah, congratulations on that award. That's great. Networker of the Year. So Marc Jarrett, M-A-R-C, J-A-R-R-E-T-T.
J-A-R-R-E-T-T, yes.
I said, so brilliant. Now we're going to go to another break now, but don't go away because there's so much more to explore. Welcome back. We've been talking about the power of virtual networking, particularly using WhatsApp and the way it can be used in conjunction with LinkedIn. Now, Marc talks about there's 2 billion reasons to use WhatsApp. So Marc, can you talk us through the globality, I think that's how you referred to it when we were talking before the program, of WhatsApp and how people can engage across the world using that as a forum?
Certainly. So WhatsApp is ubiquitous in Europe. Practically everyone uses it. In Africa, even more so. In Africa, it's actually become an e-commerce platform.
Right.
And that's coming to Europe and elsewhere as well. In other words, soon, if people want to engage in your services, Gina, they can pay you via WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is actually going to become a bank.
Right, I didn't know that.
Well, you know now.
I do know now, and that
Yes.
that will be quite a game changer for many businesses, I would have thought.
Not least mine.
Yes. Yeah.
As I say, in North America, in the United States of America, its use is not so widespread. The New York Times published an article a couple of years ago about how it's can be used for business. And as I say, only 1 in 5 Americans use WhatsApp. I'm on a mission to make that 1 in 4. And if you go to my LinkedIn testimonials, or sorry, recommendations, one of them was written by a gentleman. In the United States, as I said before, 1 in 5 individuals use WhatsApp. I'm on a mission to make that 1 in 4. And I'd like to share with you a recommendation that was written by a businessman called Ernest, who's president and CEO of Advanced Integrative Medical Enterprises. He's all about femtech. So that's technology aimed at helping women.
Okay.
And he wrote, there are select people in this world that choose to serve and help others as a priority. Marc is one of those select few. He is a networking and business opportunity rainmaker with extraordinary global outreach that can assist almost anyone in business. As a US business owner, I have found his services invaluable. In less than 2 months, he has introduced me to a global network of high-quality individuals in and around my industry that would have taken years to accumulate, if ever. I would fully recommend his services to anyone interested in increasing and diversifying their network locally, nationally, and globally. So why did he say that? Well, what I did, I taught him. First of all, he didn't use WhatsApp, so I got him to download it. And then I got him to start using WhatsApp on his computer. When it became clear to me who the kind of people is he would like to meet, I just started introducing them to him immediately in mini groups. So a mini group would be me, him, and the person I'm introducing. So I say, Gina, meet Ernest, Ernest meet Gina, break the ice, make the introduction, and then walk away. I've done my job there. My job is to connect people.
It's an amazing opportunity that you offer to people. You know, before we started recording this, you talked about the fact that you particularly wanted to help women in business. And I'd like you to, we've only got a little bit of the show left, but I'd like you to talk about why that's so important to you.
Because I can't understand why only 3% of venture capitalists are women. It's a total mystery to me. Do you know why?
I haven't got a clue, and I don't have much experience with venture capitalists, I have to say. But when you look at the number of people that you meet who are in business, particularly entrepreneurs, there seem to be many women in business and many women entrepreneurs. So it's disproportionate that in terms of those who have the money and the power to help others, that so few of them are women.
So several of my WhatsApp groups are aimed at the fairer sex. There's Women in VC. There's Women Engineers Unite. There's the Powerful Women WhatsApp group that you're in. And I'm a member of several other WhatsApp groups run by female networks. I'm actually going to get a T-shirt made up that says "Token Male" on it.
I don't think you'd ever be just a token, Mark. But I would say to anybody who's listening to this, the only thing you need to set up a WhatsApp account is a mobile phone number. And if you are using the internet, there is absolutely no cost at all. And I would say to you, there's no risk attached. It's private, as Mark has said. Nobody can join your group except by invitation. And I'd really urge you, try it out. Try it out in your personal life, certainly organising things with your friends and family and keeping in touch. And try it out in your business life. And if you want to contact Mark, LinkedIn, Marc Jarrett, look for his profile. And then people need to go onto the QR code you said, didn't you, Mark? And
that's the quick and easy way. But the other way, of course, is just to reach out to me by hitting the connect button and sending me an invite.
And I would say to you, you've got everything to gain and you've got nothing to lose.
Yes.
By having that conversation. It would be really great if you could mention that you had heard about this on Gina Gardiner and Friends. I'd love to be able to track what impact this program has had on helping people connect, because ultimately it's our connection with one another that makes the difference in life. Our relationships, whether they are personal or professional, are so important, and communication is absolutely key to that. So
absolutely. And what you just said really resonates, Gina, because networking is universal. We are all hardwired to grow our tribes by engaging in this ubiquitous socio-economic activity. And by creating an environment where people feel safe to engage with one another, good things happen. Friendships are being forged. And ultimately, that's what life is about, relationships. Relationships with our family, friends, and human beings in general.
And it's certainly the bedrock of good business, I think. It just remains for me to say to Mark, thank you so much for being a guest on my show. And I really hope that people have taken on board what we've been talking about and they actually contact you to become members of one of your, or more than one of your networking groups. So thanks very much, Mark.
I hope so too. Thank you for having me, Gina. Thank you.
An absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us. Please join us on the next show and please do contact me and let me know what you think. Take care now. Bye-bye.